Hi friends, we are very excited to come back to your screens again. So this is Irene. We've worked with her on a project before. We did a video last year.
Yes.
It was amazing. I liked that conversation. Yeah, you left the audience wanting more, but because of time we couldn't. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Because I've seen you this
Yes,
year,
yes.
but officially on camera, this is the first time we get to work together again in this year. Yeah, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So tell me, New Year's resolution?
I'm not one to make New Year's resolutions, but
Wow, that's a good place where to start from.
no,
What's up?
but also because I have things that I set out to do, like 2020, and if I haven't yet done them, maybe because of financial constraints or time or whatever, then
Yeah.
I will carry them forward and go with it. So there's a few that have changed,
Yeah.
and maybe like 2 new ones, but I don't do like whole like New Year, new beginnings, because I believe the seasons, and it doesn't have to be January for you to start. It can be anytime. So,
There we go.
yeah.
First lesson is already out in the introduction. There we go. So I think that is a good conclusion that we should come to of no one should have New Year's resolutions, because 2020 probably many of those resolutions are still pending, having been a unique year for us.
Yeah. But also, I think it's good to plan. It's
Yeah,
good to
to plan.
I just don't think it has to be, Jan and then you start.
Jan.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity for you to set out and begin again.
Yeah.
But also, you can begin again every day.
But I feel like many of us are in. There is how our minds are set in Jan, 1st of Jan.
yes.
We are rolling out
Yeah.
with new things,
Yeah.
I'm going to be working out 2 times a week. I'm going to be, and it's always great that we get to reach those goals by March or April,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I feel like 80%, if not 90%, many of us have laid behind
Yeah.
by March.
Right. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So Irene, so if you haven't been watching our videos, or if this is the very first video you're getting to watch, go back to our channel. We shot a video with her. She also runs a YouTube channel, and she's been doing an amazing job. Thank you for the frequent videos that we've had, all one after the other. Yeah, we've seen them, and they're amazing. Great. So Irene, here we are. As we start a new year, 2020 was one of those years, but it's important that we start on a good note, because it's another year, and many of us seem to still be paranoid by how 2020 treated us, by how it rolled out. And this is 2021. It's another year. We are not saying that the pandemic has gone away, no, but it's still here.
Yeah.
Though I feel like for us being Christians, totally it becomes something different, where we get to have a different perspective of how things are going.
Right.
And I feel like one of those things that we could talk about today is faith. Because we understand that faith and hope, it becomes our fuel as we go through the year.
Yes.
And I just wanted to talk to you about faith. To you, what gives you faith that this year would be better?
What gives me faith that this year is going to be better? First of all, I do not know what is ahead, but then faith in Hebrews 11 says that it is the assurance. Faith is the evidence of things hoped for.
Yeah, and not sin.
Yeah, and not sin. So I can only hope that it is going to be a good year. Although some people say that hope is not a strategy. Like, you cannot just say, I hope that this year I will be better in my finances.
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and actually have a tangible strategy.
Yeah.
That I will spend less on things I don't need. I will save more. I will pray more. If I hope that my relationship with God will grow.
Yeah.
Will not actually help that relationship to grow if you're not investing time in it. So how do I know that this year is going to be a good year? Is by me trusting that all things, regardless of what comes, that they will turn and work out for my good, as the Bible says, you know, that all things are together. And the year already has brought with it good things, you know.
True.
And there's 10 months to go, but we don't know what is ahead.
And I like the fact that you're talking about hope in, you know, because I realize that hope is like sun, you know, as we journey towards it, then it casts the shadows of our burdens behind us, you know. I feel like it's all we need to be hopeful, to be optimistic of what we do not know, but having faith and hope in one we know. Because there is one that holds what we do not know. And so we either choose to look at reality, what may which would not give us a lot of hope, because to be honest, there are things that you look at with your natural eyes and you would lose hope. But what if we choose to look at you know, situations and time ahead with the spiritual eyes of what does the word of God say? Like what is this truth? Exactly, you know. And I feel like, you know, people, it would be great for them to get to know some of these truths. So hey, hope, faith, what does the Bible say about these, you know? And if we are to look at hope and faith, there are lots of personalities in the Bible that we could relate to. Probably there is one of those that is a hero to you that you would want to...
just in, I think, 2017, there's a time I was doing my devotions and I was going through a hard time with, well, not me, but my family, you know how life goes. And so I was writing them down, and I just was like led to write down on one side everything, the reality on one side, and then on the other side I just felt like the Spirit of God tell me, now counterwrite whatever it is you wrote and write that with the truth of God. If you have a sick person, what does the Bible say about that? If you're lacking finances, what does the Bible speak to you about that? If you're confused, what does God say about that? And so I think practically for us to go through life daily, because life is life, it's not going to change. You know, the storm came to Jesus, but he had to silence it and calm it. So we need to, you know, not live in denial. Not live in denial. Allow what comes, the bad, the good times, live in the moment, you know. But also, what does the Spirit of truth tell you in that situation? And I think we need to take a conscious decision to always listen in on God, and to pause and be like, you know, there's so much noise that's coming in, the discouragement, the questions and all, but you know, be still, my soul. What is God saying? Wow, that's a good start of always having time to reflect and listen from him. Because I feel like many a times it's more of a monologue. It's only me speaking to him instead of having a dialogue. We speak to him and want to hear him speak back to us. But many of us at times, you know, we make it a monologue of, hey, I'll speak to him, I'll tell him, which is great, but like what Irene said, are you taking time to listen to what he's saying about it? And I think for me, this period, I've been reading from Moses' life story. And I was telling someone the other day, I asked them a question, I said, how come, you know, Moses had a one-on-one conversation with God, but then when it came to the children of Israel, remember Moses grew up in the palace, and then after that he went to another land. 80 years later, he comes back to the Israelites, but he didn't grow up in the camp of the Israelites. So I would think the Israelites maybe know more about God and all. But then Moses had a personal encounter with God, and that's why he had always one-on-one, and God would use him as mediator between him and the people. I get you. And many times, I think, like the children of Israel, we wait to hear from someone or from God on our behalf. What is the Lord saying? What is he saying? You know, but what about you? Have you actually taken time to ask God and to hear from him for yourself? And know that in this moment God is telling me this, you know, and not just wait for the man and woman of God to be the one to bring, you know, the word.
Yeah, I feel like that's very, very important. I'll be honest. One of the conversations that I was following this week on Twitter, there is this page. I'll put the link onto our channel. But so this guy came on and he's like, what gives me hope? I've trusted God for the last 5 years. I've prayed over this and it's not happened yet. And as I read that conversation, I was like, is this person taking time to listen? That's what I kept thinking of, because at times it's one thing for us to pray and do what we are doing, do all other things, but being able to listen.
Yes.
And then I think also understanding that our timeline is totally different from his timeline.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the big things that we get to miss out, that gets to drain our hope.
Yes.
Of I'm praying for this, probably he's doing it for someone, and for me it's not yet coming my way. Timelines being a bit different.
18:14, yes. And it says, is anything too hard for the Lord? And this was a time when Sarah and Abraham, the angels of the Lord came, and then they laughed and all that. And then God asked them, is anything too hard for the Lord?
Yeah.
And I think I'll leave you to answer that.
Yeah.
When you look around, when you look at your life, is there anything that is actually
Hi
too
friends,
hard?
we are more than excited to have you on our YouTube channel. Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. This is Andy's Inspiration, where we edify one another, learn from each other, and we shoot videos every second week of the new month. Hey, feel free to always leave your comment, and guess what? Just before you leave, I see you subscribe. Thank you very much. Until we see you on our next